Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and welcome to the 2020 DGA Awards. I am your host, Vince, and with me is...
Idly.
Idly. Alright, we're so happy. Yay. So, this is... Wow. That's so bad. Alright, this is going to be the top 5 video games that we played this year. And that's going to be separate from our list of our top 10 games of all times, because as I explained in my board game videos that I recently did, I wanted to highlight the games that we played this year. Like, some of them on this list were like, yeah, they were great, but they weren't my favorite of all time. So I was trying to figure out a way, alright, how do I highlight the games that I liked this year, and include them even though I didn't like them enough to be on my top 10 of all time. So hence this video. We're just going to do a top 5 games that we played this year. I believe all of them were released this year, but there may be one or two that had like a 2019 release date that we just got around to playing this year. It's semantics, whatever. So I guess let's just jump right into it. I don't have any sort of special sound effects for the top 5, but I could do like a... or a... I could do that, I guess.
It's so professional.
It is professional. It's super professional. That's what DGA is all about.
Mm-hmm.
When you look up the word DGA in the dictionary, you'll find a picture of a professional business suit kind of guy.
Yes.
Anyway, so
With pajama pants.
yes, actually, don't be laughing. I'm wearing pajama pants right now. It's my camera's all messed up, but yes, I am wearing pajama pants right now. So, thank you, COVID. It's the world we live in now. We look professional up here, and then down there it's whatever. Pants, no pants, slippers, bare feet, whatever.
It's fine.
That's the way the world is. Anyway, top 5 video games that we played this year in 2020, and we really enjoyed them. So I guess I'll just jump right into my number 5. And my number 5 was a little ditty called Medieval Dynasty.
Oh, yeah.
Medieval Dynasty is still early access. It's still under development right now. And this is a game that I played for several hours. I did several live streams of this game. It's grindy as heck, but I love the fact that it kind of throws you into a world, and you get to choose where you want to create your little mini town. I like the fact that you can bring settlers to your town, that you have to go out and hunt. This game still has a long way to go before I would, play it religiously. But I love the theme. I'm a big fan of medieval stuff. So I like the medieval theme. Hence why I come back to Skyrim all the time when I can. But I like the medieval theme. I like the whole survival element to it. This game does have quirks. It's still early access. It needs a lot of work. That being said, I'm really enjoying it. You are a nobody. You don't have the ability to shoot flames from your fingertips. You can't call upon dragons and scorch everybody. No, you're just this simple-minded guy who's looking for his uncle, and you find out your uncle's passed away. Now it's your job to try and survive in this little world. It reminds me a little bit of the game Kingdom Come, in the sense that you start off as a nobody, but this is less scripted. Kingdom Come has a story to it, whereas this game is more create your own. Did you ever play Medieval Dynasty, Idly?
Yes, I did. And I was actually going to put it on this list, but I was kind of like, it's pretty fresh. It's still really fresh. It needs, I think, a lot of work. I love the fact that I believe you can continue the game after you die of old age with your son. And if you don't have an heir, then it's game over.
I have not gotten to that point yet. The 30 plus hours or however many hours I have in this game,
yeah.
I'm still in the process of just leveling up, unlocking new technologies, spending points to get new things. I just got like a fishing hut for the first time. And you don't that's weird. Like typically in games like this, like fishing is one of the first things you get, or a lumber camp is one of the first things you get. And not in this game. It's like this is something that you have to really work for.
Yeah.
Mining is another example. Like you get the ability to craft basic stuff, but when you like getting a pickaxe in this game is a big feat, and actually mining. Whereas it's something I take for granted in games like this because in Skyrim it's like, oh, I found a pickaxe laying around. Oh, and now I can mine, and that's it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? In this game, it's like it's a big deal. I found a pickaxe. Now I can actually mine for material and craft things. Yeah. So
Hmm.
anyway,
I love the game. I think it's a wonderful game. It's just it needs a little bit more. I think it needs a little more content, maybe.
yeah, it,
And
uh,
the controls aren't as fluid. I don't think.
it needs a lot of TLC still. Like it again, it's
Yeah.
early access. I got to say that again. It's early access.
Mhm.
It's not done yet. This is a game that I hope the developer finishes.
Mhm.
There are several games out on Steam, early access. Oh, the developer
Yeah.
dropped the ball and is not doing it anymore. You know what I mean?
It's still playable. I think
It
it's
is.
perfectly playable.
There's bugs, but it's
Yeah.
playable, and you can get
Mhm.
several hours out of this.
Yeah.
So,
I'm waiting for the combat to have an oomph behind it
hmm
because it feels like you're just slicing through butter or I don't know. It's just weird.
they upped the difficulty of I think bears and the buffalo or whatever they were.
Yeah.
Um, Before I could like just throw three spears at their head and kill them. Now I think they're stronger.
Yeah.
So they did make the hunting aspect a bit more difficult now.
Yeah. I did hear that they were working on the realism and that meat actually goes bad now wherever it is.
Hmm
And it's just more difficult. And that's fine. I'm just hoping that, yeah, like you said, they just put a little bit more TLC in it.
This is a game I'll be watching
Yeah,
definitely from time to
definitely.
time because I want to come. I don't want to keep. This is a game like I said I could spend several hours playing,
Hmm.
but I don't want to do that and then a patch break all my saves and then I have to do it all over again. I don't want to have to
Hmm.
keep doing that over and over and over and over and over again. But I
Hmm.
just don't have the time. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was my number five. What happened to be your number five?
Sands of Salzar.
Sands of Salzar. Now, refresh my memory. Sands of Salzar is a game. It's
It's it's kind of like a roguelite, I think. It's or like a warband type of game,
yeah,
but it's very, very, very difficult. And if you the thing that I love though is that when you die, depending I think on what you've beaten, you get like these points that you can put in attributes and skills and diplomacy and all that stuff.
hmm
And that's so cool, the fact that you can start over and get stronger. And I know how much you hate starting over though.
kind of, sorta. Like I like the Mountain Blade series, and that's what this game feels like. It feels like a Mountain Blade game. You start
Mhm.
off as a nobody. There seems to be a theme here. You start off as a nobody, and you eventually level up to the point where you can actually start hiring people for your team. And
Mhm.
then you start with like five people, and then your ratings. You're fighting these small raider camps, and then you get like 30 people, and now you're attacking these huge forces.
Yeah.
And you can level these people up. You yourself can level up, and like you said, there is like a prestige element to where it's like a roguelike in the sense that when you die, you get points and you can make your character stronger, unlock more stuff. I
Mhm.
don't like that. I do like the Mountain Blade. I have played Mountain Blade a lot, the
Mhm.
recent one. I haven't played it lately, but
Mhm.
I enjoy the whole idea of leveling up a character, creating a huge force, and just creating my mark on the world. This game
Mhm.
feels like that, except it's set in like I feel like it's like Aladdin, Arabian Nights kind of thing. That's what
Yeah.
that's the setting here.
Or like an Asian dynasty or something.
Yeah, kind of, sorta, like yeah.
Mhm.
So, what did you really liked about this? Did
I really loved I don't like the difficulty too much, but I love the progression. I love the prestige thing. I love the equipment, the stuff, the skills that you can put in your character.
hmm
And the art. I love the graphic style of this. I think honestly, I think Warband could have used this, but
You
you
mean
know,
like Mountain Blade?
Mountain Blade, yeah.
hmm Well,
I get,
Warband is a game in the Mountain
yeah.
Blade series. Yeah.
And
So
I don't know, it's very it feels like a comic booky style, and I really dig that. And I don't know what it is with me and roguelites lately, but Heroes of Hammerwatch and Gunfire Reborn, I like the whole dying and then putting points into stuff to make yourself stronger,
hmm
getting farther, then dying again, then putting more points. I don't know. I don't know why I dig that so much.
there's a game I covered recently than you would like. It's like Robo something. I'd have to. I'll get you the game. I'll get you the name of it afterwards. But
Mhm.
it was a game that was that the developers paid me. It was like a sponsored video. So
Okay.
if you look at my recent sponsored videos, you'll see like a Robo themed roguelike where when you die you get to put points and you come back and there's a leveling mechanic associated with it. And I
Okay.
like those kind of roguelikes personally because like I don't like roguelikes that where you die and you have to start over and there's no permanent progression.
Mhm.
That to me that is a waste of time.
Yes, I agree.
If there are skill points I can put in for permanent bonuses to make it worthwhile, I will definitely play it.
Hmm.
That's how I feel about roguelikes. I couldn't care less about being on top of the leaderboard or being the only person to beat the game within so many seconds. I don't care. Give me permanent progression. That is the hallmark of whether or not I would play a roguelike.
Hmm.
But that's just me.
Hmm.
So, all right. So that was our number 5. Yeah. So, yeah. Super professional sound effects right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mother Gunship. Isn't that another one?
Mother Gunship is another roguelike I enjoyed.
Hmm.
But that was a bit more scripted. The
Mm.
levels got harder as you continued playing, and I believe there was like an end game element
Hmm.
to it. Whereas roguelikes typically are get as far as you can, die, get as far as you can, die, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, and then in between you level up. Mother Gunship kind of had that, but it was more along the lines of, yeah, there was some skill upgrades you could take, but primarily it was the weapons.
Hmm.
Unlocking new weapons, crafting new weapons, putting crazy things together. Yeah. So I guess we'll move on to number
You're number 4.
4.
Yes.
This is a game that I played a lot. I haven't done it recently, but I've played it a lot. And that was 5D chess with multiverse time travel, blah blah. So
Mm.
5D chess, I'm a big chess player. Not recently. When I was in high school, grade school, that's when I typically played a lot of chess. I played in tournaments. Becoming an adult, having a kid, that kind of like that chess had to take the back seat for a while. But now that I've gotten back into chess again, a little bit, um, I don't know, like 5D chess was a breath of fresh air, despite the fact that I was frustrated with it in the early onset because I didn't understand why is the bishop moving orthogonally back in time and not diagonally back in time? Oh, it's because whenever a bishop, in theory, moves left and then up to move diagonally. So the act of moving back in time gives up one of those left or up movements. So that's why it's moving orthogonally back in time, because the act of moving back in time takes up one of those two left or up spaces. So like when you wrap your head around the weirdness of 5D chess, and it's like relearning the game all over again. Once you do that, it's fairly enjoyable. Seeing multiple parallel timelines, like there is a time bar, and it moves forward, and that's the present. But you can also move pieces back into the past, and then the past has to catch up to the present again before things could actually happen again. So I don't know. It's a really cool game. It's overwhelming to the new player. I don't think some of the concepts are explained well to the newbie. But that being said, this is a revolutionary kind of thing that had to be mentioned, I
Yeah,
think.
there's an official Discord for this too that has a really great
It
community.
has a cult following. It really
Yeah,
does. People are really into this. And
and
I don't blame them. It's good.
they'll help you out. They'll give you tips. They're
Mm.
really helpful on there.
Did you understand this at all, or you just like watching people play
I
it?
like watch. I'll be honest. I'm a terrible regular chess player. I don't even want to play this game. I played this game with you for like 4 hours that last time that we streamed,
Hmm.
and that was just, oh my god, I was getting so frustrated.
That was bad, huh?
That was a pretty bad video. I think we were fighting in the video before.
We weren't fighting.
But
We do that a lot. I'll pretend to be all pissy, and then she'll pretend to be super hyper, and
yeah,
then like we play up our personalities a bit. Like I can be
yeah,
grumpy when I want to be, so I tend to be super grumpy, and then
yeah.
she tends to be hyper
Mm,
off camera, but now she becomes a super hyper person on
yeah.
camera.
It's
So
kind of
like
like
we
it's
play it up a little bit.
yeah, because we don't really want to get each other angry, so we do it over the top,
Yeah,
Just
the more over the top we act, the less effect that we have on each other in
yeah,
terms of getting each other
exactly.
mad. I don't know, it's weird. It's like, let's both of us know that we're doing it on purpose to lighten the mood.
Yeah, exactly.
So because we both know that in the back of our mind, we're not actually being anyway. 5D chess.
So I don't even like okay, I'm bad at chess. I'm really, really bad at chess. And I'm even worse with this one, with the 5D chess. However, I love watching people play chess. I love watching it. I feel like I learn probably like less than a decimal point
Hmm.
of something every time I watch chess, but I still learn at least one thing every single time I watch a
Hmm.
game. And it's fun. Like I find it to be really competitive and fun just watching it. I don't ever want to touch it.
It's
But
tough. Like again, like the game itself, like it's not about checking the king in the present or checkmating in the king in the present, which you can
mhm,
do. That's what you do in regular chess.
yeah.
This game introduces checkmating the king in the past, meaning that if your piece has a clear line of attack to an earlier board that you've already skipped over in the past, if you're able to attack the king in the past, there's no way for the king to get out of that. Not
Mhm,
unless they do something crazy with another piece. It's yeah. So give 5D chess a look. It's quirky. It's
mhm.
gonna take you some time to learn, but it's worth it. If you're a chess player at all, I would say give it a try. It's revolutionary. It's really cool what the developer did with this.
Yeah, I'll
So
be honest, I have fun creating chaos in this. I like
you
just
you just move pieces back in time to move pieces back in
yeah,
time.
it's fun seeing like all those different timelines. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's kind of fun.
You would be the main villain in the Butterfly Effect movies, where you're just causing chaos everywhere. What
Yeah.
happens if I go back in time and do this? And you're sitting there,
So
with
it's
your
basically
Doctor Evil
you.
laugh. Yeah. So
Oh man.
that was my number four. What was your number four?
Mine was Dark Mist.
Dark Mist. Now that is a deck builder.
Yes, that was the card game.
Okay.
And
So what did you like about this one?
I recently, not recently, but like probably a month ago or so, I really took up on it and it was so much fun. You build your deck, you start off with like a hand of cards,
Mm-hmm.
and depending on what class you play, there's a different mechanic for each class.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's like 5 or 6 classes, but they are all so unique and so different. So your game style, all the mechanics end up being like so different in each game that you play.
Did you
Once
unlock all
you
of
start
them?
a class, I did.
Okay, because I only played as the Berserker when I reviewed it, but
Oh man, dude, the other classes are so different. They're so unique. The Berserker, he does the bleed effect a lot. So, your cards require like I'm having a block right now.
that's fine. No, I think I understand what you're saying. Certain cards chain off each other in this game,
Yeah.
so like you play one card first, and then you follow it up with this card because it somehow chains with the last one. But on top of that, this game introduces like layers. So
Mhm.
each column of cards like the enemies behind, if they can do a ranged attack, they can still hit you. Like if you have a column of just melee attackers and the second and third rows above the first one don't have any sort of special ability, you can kind of just not kill the one on the bottom row that closest to you and work on the other two columns, get those dangerous things out of the way first, and then work on that last column because it's not much of a threat. So like you can actually tackle columns in a specific order. Again, different enemies have different abilities. At some point you get bosses. So yeah, it was a cool game. This developer has done a number of different card games, but Dark Mist you seem to really like.
I loved this one. This one was fantastic. The Berserker class, his cards disappear. Like some of his cards disappear. Like there's a blood thing, a blood card, and when you use it, and when it goes back into your hand, they disappear. But some of his cards keep producing blood cards. But
they're one-offs. Like your cards, some of your cards will produce these one-off cards that you can use only once, and then they go away forever once they get destroyed. Yeah.
The other classes have sort of something similar, but then there's other classes where they don't have that at all. So all your cards are permanent. Man, dude, you gotta play all the classes. It is just so amazing. There's a bug class, like a Scorpion Queen or something, and she can actually insert parasite cards into an enemy, and they'll either get poisoned or they'll attack their own tableau of enemy cards. It is so nasty, but it is so cool. And then there's I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, you just reminded me that another cool mechanic in this game is when you take damage, cards from your discard pile go underneath the attacking card, so you have to kill that enemy in order to get your cards back. So your deck acts as your life, and there's not too many other games out there that adopt that kind of mechanic.
Yeah, I loved that. This game introduces so many different things that I never even knew a deck builder could do. I love the shop. I think it's so cool. The only problem is that this game can get really, really, really difficult. Bosses, there's certain types of bosses where it's so hard. Like they'll have like an immortal status until something happens. I don't know, but in a way I kind of like it too because it's a challenge and you have to like put your strategic thinking into play. There's I think the most broken class though is a psychic class, and she can actually determine the order of cards that come up in your hand. And if you have a meta gameplay of cards, you'll never end your turn. Like you can just keep fighting and fighting and fighting.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah.
Those are typically, in deck builders, the overpowered builds typically revolve around how many, if I can draw 3,000 cards on this one turn and play them all, then I win. That's typically a deck builder. So the ability to actually choose what comes up in a deck builder, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, she is disgusting. Oh, there's another one. I'm sorry, I'm like totally rambling right now, but there's another one.
You're excited. You can tell she's excited. You know what? Oh my god! Go ahead, no, keep going.
The very last class to unlock is a beast class. I think you might actually like that one, actually, where you have animals. So you have like an animal on one side, on the drawing side, and then another animal on the defensive side. And so every time your turn ends, your animals will attack, and they can attack like really hard if you build them up.
Is that the Beastmaster class?
Yeah.
That's cool. I might have to try. Yeah, I mean, but you have to unlock them.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, that would require more time that I do not have. I would love to. Don't get me wrong. I would love to. I just don't have time.
I'll just transfer my save file to yours.
Wrong. Nope, I can't do that. Nope. That would ruin my personal
your experience.
No. I don't like cheats or handouts like that because if I beat something, I want to be able to say I got to this point because I did it. Not
Just
because I got a cheat code or a save, you know what I
no,
mean?
no, but it's just to try out the classes. That's it. Like that's all. You know.
Mm, mm. That's the journey that's fun, not the end result.
Yeah.
Typically. Anyway,
Hmm. Oh my god.
yeah. So that was your number 4 then.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that was Dark Mist.
Hmm. Fun.
Number 3. It is awesome. My number 3, once I press the button,
I feel like
is
the show's coming up.
yeah, Creeper World 3. Or 4,
Okay.
rather, I'm sorry. Creeper World 4. This is a game that recently released on Steam. And what I was trying to put together in my head, it's like Creeper World 3, but it's got a three-dimensional aspect to it. Creeper World 1 and 3, games that I'd played in the past, were top-down. In this game, the camera is more freeform. You can spin around, you can rotate, you can... but you're still doing the same thing in this game, and that is you've got this huge blob of blue liquid coming at you, and you're going to be putting down turrets and mortars and lasers and other things to try and stop this blue stuff from enveloping you. And your goal is primarily to just wipe out all the blue or activate all of the pylons or towers, whatever they're called on the map, that are scattered around. This is Creeper World 1. I never owned Creeper World 1, but when I was younger, I played the demo several thousand times because I really enjoyed it. And then as an adult, I got Creeper World 3, and then I got a key for Creeper World 4. The developer is a great guy. He said that he in his emails, he says that his son watches my YouTube channel. I'm like, oh, cool, yay. So that's really nice. So I love that. Anyway, Creeper World 4 is fantastic. I reviewed it recently, and it deserves a spot here because not only is it nostalgic, but it's good. Like, I love a good town defense game, and that's what this is. This is town defense, and instead of it being, though, like, guys coming at you and you have to build walls, no, this is, you've got this ooze. It's liquid. It comes at you. It's like this. Just imagine this huge blob coming at you, and you've got to systematically fight it back. I love that. So yeah, that's why this is my number 3. You've not tried this? I'm sure.
No, I have not tried it yet.
Have you tried Creeper World 3 though?
Yes, I love Creeper World 3, but it didn't come out in 2020, right?
Creeper World 3 did not come out in 2020. Creeper World 4 just released.
Okay, I just downloaded it, so...
So she's going to be playing it at some point.
Yeah, I will.
Mm-hmm.
So the only reason why it's probably not on this list is because I haven't played it, but it looks fun, and I love Creeper World 3, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of content. Creeper World 4 has... there's different modes like in Creeper World 3, but primarily the one I like is this random generator where you can be like, how smart do you want the AI to be? How big do you want the map to be? And you're ticking all these different filters, and then it generates a map for you.
Is there a campaign? I'm sorry.
A what?
A campaign?
There is a campaign.
Yes.
And
okay.
it'll take you through, okay, start with this. It'll unlock new stuff as you go so that you're not overwhelmed. Because if you play like a regular game or the randomly generated, it's like the Mark something computer. If you generate that, you're gonna have everything to start with, and you're gonna be like, what's a MERV, or what's this? What's this thing? Aircraft? How do I get that? Yeah. So the campaign will take you one step at a time and will unlock new content for you. But as an experienced Creeper World player, though, I skipped a lot of the early stages.
So you said that it's good for the campaign, for it to take you step by step.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that the equipment is not similar to Creeper World 3?
It is. You still have the mortars where they are slower to fire, but they take out huge chunks of the ooze, whatever, the creep. They're regular, cheapest cannons that you can build. Like, they are rapid fire, but they're weak. You can still build shields. So if you're familiar with the Creeper World 3, you can jump into 4 without too much of a problem, in my opinion. There may be a couple of things that you have to relearn or figure out, but Yeah, it's good. I enjoy it.
I love the ooze. It just reminds me of Power Rangers or Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the idea of like there was an RTS that featured an ooze as its primary. That was your faction. You're just an
Wow.
ooze, a blobs. It was like a gray. It was gray goo, I think it was. The RTS gray
Oh yeah,
goo.
that's right.
You were that gray this gray goo faction, and you could go around and you morphed into different units. Anyway,
Oh, I
Creeper.
didn't know that, and I play that game.
Yeah, well, I had high hopes for gray goo, but I just didn't like it. Petroglyph was great back in the day. I don't know lately. They've been a little off the mark. Anyway, Creeper World 4, excellent game. Go check it out. The developer even box quoted me on the Steam store page, which was really nice. So thank you. I appreciate it. What was your number 3?
My number 3 was Per Aspera.
Per Aspera. Now, this is a game I also covered recently. Tell me about it.
It's pretty fun. It's still in early access. Actually, they just released an update. But it's a really fun logistical game, and I love logistics. I love the whole transferring from one point to another point to another, and yeah, building things, and it's a pretty fun game.
Yeah, like you said, it's very logistical. As a fan of the Caesar series, which I don't think you've ever played, typically, resource A and B, it converts into C somehow, or maybe you've got resource A that goes into B, then goes into C. This game is similar to that in the sense that, okay, you're mining this resource, then you're carbon, you're mining this resource over here, you're combining the two at this building, that's creating this, and your goal in this game is to terraform Mars, and at some point in the campaign, people actually land, and you need to create habitats for them, you need food and water, make some food and water. You play the role of an AI in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And the story behind it is kind of cool. I've not gotten as far as she has, but I've gotten far enough to where there is some dialogue. The AI is questioning their existence, like, should I be thinking this way? Is it weird for an AI to be self-aware like this? So there's little things like that going on with the story, and you have some choices in the dialogue as to what happens next. But ultimately, like, this is a logistical game. And resources are finite, so you have to keep branching out and make sure that your power buildings are all covering your areas, and your maintenance buildings are all covering the areas so that no building is left out in the cold, so to speak. So you liked it for the logistical side. You liked the story as well, and
I liked the story. The voiceover is fantastic.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I did not think that I would like this game. I saw you play it, and I'm like, I'm not too big into space games, but this was fun, and I'm glad I gave it a shot because I love it. I adore it. And there's one thing. There's a couple of things I didn't like. Did I just mute myself?
No, you're good. I can hear you.
I thought I saw the button. So I don't like the fact that you need certain requirements to unlock a section of Mars, which really stinks. There's like, after you completely cover a whole section, you have to branch out into another section, and sometimes you can't do that unless you get like a certificate. And in order to get a certificate, you need to launch rockets, and in order to launch rockets, I mean, if you have one thing that goes wrong early on, then your whole company just blows up in your face. And the other thing I didn't like, this might be a little bit of a spoiler, so if you want, you can cover your ears.
La 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 la. I'm gonna somehow cover my ears with my headphones being on. Yeah.
So there is combat in the game. So once the enemies, if you don't have any defensive structures, like if you don't belt that out as soon as you can, they will destroy everything. And that's how I lost. So
Gotcha.
I have to start the game all over because everything just got destroyed over and over constantly.
You didn't have like a save that was somewhat. The game auto saves, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was so frustrated at that point that I just scrapped everything and
Rage quit.
over. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
better mentality of like, okay, now I know that there's combat, so let me build around, defensive stuff.
I still gave this game a positive review just because I like the logistical side of it. It still needs work in some areas, but overall, I enjoy the style of game enough
Yeah,
to where I would recommend it.
I love this game. I wish there were more logistical games out there. I don't see enough of them, honestly.
They need
And
a Caesar 5. I'm just saying. Get on
you guys
that.
gotta play Caesar now. What the heck is Caesar?
Caesar is a medieval, or not medieval. It's Roman times.
Is it
You
the
know,
Rise of Caesar?
it's a city builder. It's a town builder where you're building houses. Like you build crappy houses for the lower class and manors for the upper class, and the houses will only upgrade if you provide them with the food and the luxuries they need. Yeah, it's a resource chaining game, just like this one is. Very logistical.
Okay,
So
I'm looking at it. Oh, the graphics, they hurt me.
it's an older game. Caesar 4 is probably the more updated out of all of them. Caesar 3 is like, more like retro top down. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All
Cool.
right. So Per Aspera, that was your number 3.
Yes.
All right. Number 2. Let's go ahead and pull that up real quick. Press the button. So good. Okay. My number 2 was a cool little metro builder / management game called Station Flow.
Nice.
Station Flow, as simple as it is, like from a building standpoint, like creating things in this game is very easy to do. That being said, like, it kept me going. It hooked me. I don't know what it is about this game, but like I kept wanting to go. As you progress in this game, you unlock new passenger types that demand new things. So in the start, everyone can easily walk to their destination. Like the person coming in through A5 needs to get to the A station or the A train, whatever. And you have to make signs so that people know where to go. As over the course of the game, then you've got like people in wheelchairs and crippled people that can only take like escalators or elevators. So you have to rework your entire layout to accommodate the new style of passengers that are now showing up. So I hate to say it's very logistical. I love this style. It's a different style of logistical game, but how well can you create an underground metro area to make it flow well? And this is a game that hooked me. I really like it, despite how simple it is. It's actually like it makes your mind work.
Yeah.
And you unlock new entrances and new train areas as you continue playing. So you have to now create pathing to them and create new signs and rework your existing signs so that people coming in know how to get to the new trains that are now available. Have you played this at all?
I did, and I really enjoyed it, but man, I have rage quit so many times.
That bad, huh?
It's overwhelming, but I like it. I really do like it. I like watching you play it. And I like playing it too. It really feels like you're managing the routes of people.
Mm-hmm.
And
people will complain if you don't create the signs, or if you don't have little information boards scattered around. They'll go blub 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 blub, and then they'll get mad. And then you'll lose points for that day or whatever. Like there's a progress bar that fills up, and when that progress bar fills up, you level up and you unlock new stuff. But if people are unhappy, that progress bar will not go up, and you have to manage what you have well, get it to where it needs to be. Then the progress bar goes up again, and then you start unlocking new things. That's how the progression works, and it's fun. Like just when you think you've got the game figured out, it throws something new at you that you have to take into consideration. And now I've got to spend 3 hours reworking my station because I don't have any elevators for these wheelchair people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I think that is why I rage quit a lot. The fact that I have to redo things. I don't like that. I wish I can just build off of what I already have.
You can if you plan ahead for it, but it's hard to do that if you're new to the game because you don't know what's coming. But my second playthrough, I'm like, all right, now I know elevator people, like when elevators became available, I'm like, okay, I know at some point people with wheelchairs are going to need access to these. So when I'm building, I now need room for these elevators. So I need to like keep extra room available for them. So like I was able to plan ahead on my second playthrough compared to my first.
I think of this as Mini Metro on super steroids.
Yeah, Mini Metro is definitely more simple than this.
And I like both. Like, I like Mini Metro if I want to have like a really casual but challenging time. And then I like this when I kind of want to really expand my brain and get overwhelmed.
Mini Metro is a different beast, though. Like, Mini Metro is like, it deals with many stations. Like, you're trying to get triangle passengers to triangle station or circle passengers to circle station, and you're connecting the lines. So in Mini Metro, you're dealing with this overworld map and you're connecting stations with your lines. This game, it's just one station, and there's multiple layers of it and different trains coming in and out. So you're concentrating in this game on one station, like you're micromanaging one. Whereas in Mini Metro, you've got this overworld simple connect things together.
It's one station, but it has many different entrances.
Right, you know? Many entrances, many trains, like train A, B, C, D, as they appear.
Man, when you told me, I remember I was first playing it, and I was like, okay, I can get my head around this. And you told me there was like a second layer, like a second floor, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and then there's a third and a fourth and a fifth, and you can even custom make your own maps too, which is cool. Like you can put entrance B1 through 5 will be on this layer. This train station will be on this layer whenever you unlock it, and so on. So I like that. Yeah. So that was my number 2, was it? What was your number 2?
My number 2 was Surgeon Simulator 2.
Surgeon Simulator. We played this.
I love this game.
It's one of those crazy, wacky physics games. We were high-fiving each other in that video.
The reason why I put this on there is because it is a lot of fun. There's teamwork, there's communication, but most of all, there's level progress. And every time you level up, you get new fashion items.
The fashion items don't actually do anything to improve your person, but you like those aesthetics. Like you, if there's aesthetic unlocks, you're all over it.
I love them. I got like a top hat. You get like a biohazard suit. There's just all these quirky, silly types of hats and things that you can unlock. And you can unlock them in a variety of different ways. There's challenges. There's daily challenges. And I love that. I love there's like little quests in the main menu, dailies. So I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm. The game is more about like puzzle level design, where that's one thing I didn't like. Like the beginning levels were fine, where like, okay, put a basketball through this hole, that will unlock the door for the next room. Fine. Yeah. Okay. But then we played one level where it was like multi-leveled 4 levels. We were climbing through ducts. I'm like, this is becoming more of a platformer and less of a surgeon simulator game.
Here's the thing, though. We did that completely wrong.
Well, the primary focus should have been surgery, not platforming.
Yeah. It was, we were trying to get a button unlocked, and all we had to do was take the arm off of a patient and put it in an area, and that would have unlocked everything. But we didn't have an arm, so we didn't know what to do because we didn't have an arm, but we didn't think that we could just take the arm off the patient.
That's just, see, that's what I mean. Like, I give me more surgery stuff. Like, I don't want to be running around to 8 different places. Just give me everything in one room I can pick up, and you know what I mean? I want more crazy surgery stuff. I've taken out their lungs for the 500th time. How about can I open up their leg and maybe mess with stuff in there? I would like more medical content as
Yeah.
opposed to platforming content, if that makes any sense. That's why this is not on my list. I like the game. I like the co-op aspect, but I wanted to focus more on the medical side and less on the platforming side.
Yeah. I don't mind wikiing. I don't mind spoilers to know puzzles ahead of time. And so it doesn't bother me that much, but I do agree that there needs to be less puzzles. I don't really care about the puzzles. I just want to have surgery, and because the controls are hard enough as it is,
Well,
you know?
yeah, your hand is all over the. You're trying to do surgery with yeah. Yeah. It's fun. I mean, that's the fun part about it. When I actually have a scalpel in my hand or a hammer and I'm trying to break the person's rib cage, that's the fun that I derive from this. It's not, the fun is not trying to stack 8 boxes so I can reach this duct. It's I've got a surgical instrument in my hand and I'm about to chop this person's head off by accident, pure accident. You know what I mean? Like, that's the fun.
And I know that you hate the time limit.
Oh, I hate time limits. I hate that. Just let me at it. You know.
I kind of like that there's a 3-star, 2-star, 1-star, but yeah, I mean, next time we play, I'll do the puzzles and you do the surgery, you know?
That's dangerous. Just because I like to do it doesn't mean I'm good at it.
That's okay. Practice makes perfect.
Sure, we'll go with that.
One thing real quick. I was playing with someone and they taught me this really funny trick where you know how we would saw the arm off and then we would syringe it so that he won't lose so much blood. I was cracking up because this dude said, okay, hold the healthy arm. I'm just going to pull the dead arm. I'm just going to pull it out and then you attach it. So we did it. It was just a pull attach and it did it fine. He didn't even lose any blood.
Yeah, because once a new arm is connected, the blood flows instantly to the new arm. That's how real life works.
It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to be all meticulous and careful. We could just do it like that.
Yeah, it's just Legos. It's just like Legos. You unclick one, you put the new one on real quick. Yeah.
So morbid. It's such a morbid game, but it's really fun.
It is fun. I agree. It is fun. It's just some parts of it I didn't care for.
Yeah.
But it's good. That's a good one to have on your list.
It's on my list because I would totally play it again, in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. It's on Epic, though, isn't it? Not everyone really likes the Epic Store.
Yeah.
But it'll come to Steam, I'm sure, at some point, once that exclusivity is over.
Yeah.
My number one, give it that, and it's a... There we go, drum roll. My number one was a game called Phasmophobia. Out of all the games this year, I had the most fun with this one. I will say right now that as I've played for several hours at this point, 50 plus, it is getting stale to the point where it's getting the same over and over. And this is a game where it's like, this is one developer that does not accept help. And so content is rolling out slowly, too slowly for my tastes, to where if I keep playing it at the rate I'm going, I'm going to get sick of it.
Did he say that he was not accepting help?
Well, I do believe that the developer didn't want anyone else. I mean, aside from, like, help on, like, say, the Discord, whatever. But, like, you've got one developer, and I can understand that viewpoint. But still, like, this is a very popular game that blew up. And if you need to keep... With all the money that you're making, it would have made sense for him to hire a team of developers to pump out content on a regular basis. Instead, we're getting little bits here and there. A new prison map just came out after, a month or whatever it was. So, I will say that this is probably my favorite game of this year. It's a lot of fun. It's a cooperative, Clue-like game where you've got to figure out what the ghost is. Is it a banshee? Is it a wraith? Is it a revenant? And you're going to be using the tools that you have in your truck to help you determine that. There's an EMF reader which measures ghost activity. If it's a 5, that means, okay, it can only be this ghost, or this ghost. Another tool you have is like a thermometer. It measures temperature in different rooms. There's a spirit box that you can talk into, and if it talks back to you, that's another piece of evidence. So you're putting all this different evidence together to figure out what the ghost is. And then this board also gives you other objectives that you can complete, like salt the area. And if the ghost steps in the salt, then it's done. You get some extra money. Different things like that. So like I like this game, but there's definitely room for improvement. As much praise as I give this game, it could be improved. Like I can only carry 3 atoms at a time. So like it's a lot of the time it's a back and forth simulator, especially when you're playing by yourself. Because no matter how many people you're playing with, you still have the same different kinds of tools. So you have to like, okay, I need a flashlight so I can see, and that leaves room for 2 other tools. So I come in, drop them off, go back to the truck, take 2 more tools, go inside the house, drop them off, come back to the truck, pick 2 more tools, drop. So it becomes a delivery simulator for the first 5 minutes. And then once you get everything in there that you need, then you start deducing what the ghost is. That's the fun part. And when it starts hunting, that's the fun part. But I think, like, content-wise, it needs more for me to stay interested. That being said, it's a fantastic game. I love it. I love Phasmophobia. I want to see it do well. I hope the developer accepts help at some point and gets more content out on a regular basis as opposed to the rate at which he's going now. He has the money to do it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I like this game. At first, I was very, very much against this game because of some beliefs that I've had. But I've started playing it, and it's actually quite fun. I love the clue-like aspect. I'm still very much against certain aspects of the game. But it really is a scary horror game that is so much fun to play with your friends. And if you want to get a good scare, solo. I like the tense atmosphere. It definitely needs way more content at this point because after reaching level 700 or something.
Yeah, we're on 550 or 560 or something like that.
Yeah, when we play as much as we did with it, it does get a little tedious, a little stale. It still has like that heart anxiety palpitating thing, but yeah, it just needs a little more content. That's all.
Definitely played. It's better when played with friends. You can play this solo. It's more scary to play solo, I think, because people tend to be braver when they've got a friend with them joking around. They're nervous walking in together, strength in numbers kind of thing. Whereas if you're playing solo, you're like creeping around the house all scared until you know what you're doing, in which case it's not like once you get over that fear aspect and once you know the verbal cues and the audio cues, things don't become as scary anymore and the game kind of loses some of its magic. That being said, it's still fun because the ghost can still hunt you and kill you, and that's the where is it going to appear? Where do I hide? Am I safe here? That part's still fun.
Yeah. Like, my favorite thing in this game is the general atmosphere, the creepiness of it, and the clue-like. Oh, God, I love the whole deducing type of thing. I think that is so much fun.
If the developer were able to create randomly generated houses in this game, that would give so much so much content. I think that would increase its replayability tenfold.
I just scared myself. I'm so sorry. I sneezed. I'm so sorry.
Wait. How did you scare yourself sneezing?
I don't know. We were talking about Phasmophobia. And I'm thinking about ghosts, and then I sneezed and I scared myself. Because I was thinking about, I don't know, ghosts.
I don't get... Wait. How does this... Alright. I don't know how a sneeze is relatable to a ghost hunt.
I don't know. I was looking at the video that you have up.
I see.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
You're gonna cut that out, right?
Clearly, she's scared. She loves Phasmophobia because she gets scared of everything. She walks into a house and I don't know, just something cricks in the house. Oh my God! She yells. then I swear, like I think our neighbors thought like I was like abusing her because every night she'd be screaming bloody murder playing this game. Until she got really good at it, in which case she doesn't do it a whole lot anymore, but she still screams like on occasion.
There was a moment where you were standing, like I think in front of the doorway, and when I was getting out of the house and I saw you in front of the doorway, I got so terrified. I screamed a little.
Yeah.
What it was. The character models in this game are so janky, but they're pretty creepy too, in the sense that you always think that it's the ghost.
A lot of them are bought assets. Like this is the
Yeah.
developer bought a lot of assets and then created this game. And I really hope the developer does something more with this. He is. There's a whole Trello board, things they plan to add, what people want to see. I just hope that he manages to keep the game fresh and interesting on a regular basis, so that because at some point, it's going to lose its magic completely, and the developer needs to keep it alive. I hope that happens. I just really do.
It's very similar to that Star Trek virtual, the Star Trek Space Crew.
How's it? Oh, well, because it's co-op or what?
Yeah, because of all the teamwork that you have to do, and just like the communication. Because in this game, you need communication too.
Mm-hmm.
With the teamwork aspect, and you have to complete missions. We're kind of completing a mission here, and I think that game kind of got stale because it was just so repetitive. You have to do the same thing over and over again, and yeah, if Phasmophobia keeps that up, like to do the same thing over and over and over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
it's be just like that. I think.
Well, I would love to try this game in VR just to keep. I don't have a VR headset, but this game would want to make me get one just for that.
Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And for the Star Trek Space Crew, I think.
That would be fun too. The Bridge Crew, Star Trek Bridge Crew.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. What was your number one?
King of Retail.
King of Retail. I covered this a lot lately. It's really fun. You start off with this small little business, one person, just you, and you have like 5 items for display. And then you play for several hours, and now you've got like 15 employees. Some are for storage and boxing and restocking, and some are cashiers, and some are advertising people. What did you like about this one?
This reminded me of Winklegy, that Winklegy game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was on my top 5 something on another podcast that we did. And this King of Retail is like that game, but on super steroids, And I just love that you can come up from just a lowly, manager type of person, and you can have just companies, like just a ton of different stores, and you're just managing every single one. You can have quite a bit of items. The game needs... Right now, it has fashion, electronics, and food. But it needs more stuff. I think it needs like a pet shop, and it needs like...
I would love a pet shop, or just also... I mean, retail is retail. You can get a lot of different products out there. I would...
I'm sorry. And because this is such a... what's the word I'm looking for? Consortium? No. It's a very...
what do you mean?
You have a bunch of different stores.
Franchise? Like, you've got you're a franchise, and
Yeah, there you go. You're an entrepreneur in this game. And you have, like, a bunch of different stores, and you can have them all, like, be different types, or you can have, like... You can have all of them.
It depends on what mode you play. There's an entrepreneur mode, I believe, where like one mode is sandbox and it's just one store.
Yeah.
You only get one store, but you can expand it. You can make it anything you want, and you can make it as large as you want. Then there's the franchise mode, I believe, where you have one store. You're locked into this kind of product. Then it's sort of like a campaign where you're scripted. You move on to the next store once you get to a certain point. You turn and create whatever there. You move on to the next one. So you have multiple stores that way. So there's like 2 modes that you can play in this game. I played the entrepreneur, the big sandbox mode.
Okay, so in the franchise campaign mode, whatever it's called, the one that I played, you start off with those scripted stores only to earn enough money to buy your own company. After that, you get like a map, and you can actually place and build up stores that are your own. And you can hire managers. You can hire. You can make it so that you have like one headquarters somewhere, and you can manage all your stores from that headquarters. And
Can you rename? I couldn't rename my initial set of stores though.
You can rename it in that one.
And once you get to a certain point, though, right?
Yeah, like after you save up enough money, like you really start off with just like with being just one person, you know, trying to build up from that. And I think that is so cool. And yeah, you're just like this huge mogul. Is that how you say it?
Mogul, yeah. I love that there's like 8 to 10 different demographics in this game. Like you've got like the nerd demographic, and you've got the athlete demographic, and the rich people like you've got all these different demographics, and different products will cater to different demographics. So when you're playing that campaign/franchise mode, you have to take that into consideration when you're picking what products to put out.
I think there's a redneck demographic.
Yeah, there's a redneck demographic.
And I sold I had one shop that sold
just flannel
shirts and wine.
Flannel and wine. That's that. When you think redneck, flannel and wine.
It's just pretty funny.
Why not beer though? Wouldn't you sell beer?
Yeah, it was beer and wine. It was an alcohol.
Beer. Okay. Was it boxed wine?
There was some wine bottles and then boxed wine.
I see.
And beer stuff. And then I put the electronics right next to the drinks.
Were they John Deere tractors or what? You didn't have John Deere tractors aren't in this game, but you had like what peripherals? Like you can get mice, like computer mice. Yeah. You can towers. There's tablets. There's all sorts of different electronic devices in this.
Yeah. It's just so cool what you can sell, what types of things you can sell, and I hope they expand on that. And there's a lot already, but just the whole management aspect is just mind-blowing to me.
It gets tedious, though. When you've got 20 employees and they're all asking for a raise, and you have to manually, one by one, play that stupid mini-game, I'll give you this. Oh, I'm up to 25% annoyance. Try more. Okay, I'll give you a raise to this. Like you're trying to find their sweet spot. That's annoying. I like leveling them up, but
on the Discord they did address that, and they will change that up soon. So that was exciting to hear. The developers really, he's going to make some UI improvements.
I would just like an auto raise system where you level them up and they automatically get a raise based on their new skill level. Or give me the option to manually try but like, do you wish to negotiate? Yes, no. If you click no, then they automatically get a raise to the average. Whereas if you negotiate, you might end up slightly lower or slightly higher. You know what I mean? I would like something like that. The game is still being developed, I think, though, right?
Yeah, it's still in early access, but he's doing things to improve it, so I'm really hopeful for it. I don't remember. Don't take my word for it, but I believe that there is when you hire a manager for your store, I think he can also do auto raises for your employees.
No, I couldn't hire a manager for my store because I played that sandbox mode. I was the manager. I've never played the franchise mode, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh gosh, I wish you could play it. It really is so much fun, and it's a whole different world from the sandbox mode. Really.
See, I have like 10 plus hours. I'm kind of devoted to that. So having to switch over to a new store and then it's time I don't have. If I could split myself into 8 and do all sorts of different games, I would. But
I'll send you my save file.
All right. Or
you're fired.
Or yes, shut up, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley.
So many for me.
I have so many options here. Anyway, haven't heard that one in a while. All right, so there we go. Anyway, so anything else to say about this before we sign out?
I think King of Retail is a great game.
It is. I really liked it. It wasn't released this year, I don't think, but it's a game that
Oh,
we
really?
first. No, I think it's a game that's been in early access for quite a while. It's a game that I started playing this year, though, and by extension, you started playing this year.
Oh, oops. Okay.
It's no. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there are going to be a couple of games where, we just never had time to get to them. There's so many games out there. There's no way we could possibly ever expect to play every single game that releases that year. Just, it's not humanly possible. So there's going to be some exceptions. But we started playing this one this year. I really like it. And I think that's on one of my honorable mentions, I believe.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you have any honorable mentions or games that you wanted to put on this list?
I did.
Okay.
I was gonna put number 5 as Gladiator Guild Manager.
Interesting. It's a really early game. Like, that game is still way early in development.
Yeah, that's the only reason why it's not on my list, but it was very close. And thank you for Brian, because he mentioned it, and it really is a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I completed it like in record time, but it's super fun, and it's an idle game. Sort of idle management. Okay, anyways, and then there's Fantasy of Expedition.
Uh-huh.
Monster Sanctuary.
Uh-huh.
Gunfire Reborn.
Mm-hmm.
Space Crew, even though I've actually never played it, I totally plan on playing
Well,
it.
you play Bomber Crew. Did you like Bomber Crew?
Yes, absolutely.
Then you'll like Space Crew.
Exactly.
It's Bomber Crew in space.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Silmaris Dice Kingdom. I'm starting to, turn my head.
It's dice. I can't imagine you wouldn't like it. Like,
I know. The one thing I don't like about it is that when you use dice, they disappear. Like, they get taken away.
Yeah, then you have to use your characters to get more dice of that color.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
They're consumable. It's not like a in the board game world we would call it a it's like Splendor, where it's just, you continuously gain assets over the course of time and you get to keep those assets. It's this game, you actually spend dice and you lose them forever when you're taking an action. So if you're unlucky with your rolls, you have to grind to get more dice of that color.
Yeah, that's the only reason why it's not on my list. Like, that's the only reason. Because the game is great. I think the game is fun, but that's like a...
It's okay. I like the story, though. There's different endings and different storylines that you can unlock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, any other ones?
There's so many, but I think those were like from 2019. So I don't know.
My honorable mentions: Hammer Ting. Hammer Ting is like a underground dwarf city builder of sorts. It reminds me of not a game of dwarves, but Craft the World. Thank you. Mini Healer, which is where you're the healer and you're managing a party and you level up. It's sort of like World of Warcraft. You're upgrading your healer through talent trees and stuff.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Okay, that one's on my honorable mentions too.
Mm-hmm. Monster Sanctuary. It's like a Pokemon 2D Pokemon kind of thing.
Way better than Nextmon, for the record.
Yeah. Littlewood was fairly enjoyable. Littlewood.
Yeah.
Grift Lands, which was a deck builder.
That's on my top 5. Forget it.
We're gonna be doing that happens. Like, we make a list and then we realize, what about this game? What about this game? Oh, we got to redo it. Like, we've redone our list, I'm sure, like 10 times at this point.
Griftlands is now taking over Surgeon Simulator 2. Is now my number 2. Okay.
Seriously, that much? Okay.
I forgot about it.
Monster Train was fun. It's a deck builder. Space Crew and Eratus, Lord of the Dead. I like Darkest Dungeon, but it's too darn hard for me. Eratus, Lord of the Dead makes that whole... It's almost the same game, except you're the bad guys, and it's more manageable, I think, for the more casual player. So I'm sure there's other games that I played that I really want to list, but I just don't remember right now. So... Sorry. What about this game? I know, I'm sorry, but I'm one person. I don't remember everything that I've played. If you look at my Steam library, I've got roughly 4,000 games in my Steam library, and I've played probably over 500 this year. So I had to scan that entire list that I've played this year and try and come up with a top 5. So yeah, I'm sure I missed one or two. But yeah, there you go. That was our top 5 video games that we played this year and really enjoyed. At some point, we want to release a top 10 video games of all time for this year. I don't know when that's going to be. We're just busy people. So I guess stay tuned. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince and Ida Lee. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care.
Bye, guys.